The traditional essay format was not designed to help struggling writers. It was designed to assess whether students have already mastered the skill. So when we hand a blank page to a student who hasn't internalized how argumentation works yet, we're testing a skill before we've even finished teaching it. And the blank page isn't just like this mental obstacle, it's a psychological one, right? Essay writing is almost entirely solitary. So for students who are still building confidence, who have learning differences, who are English language learners, that isolation can be the thing that stops them before they even begin. So here's what kills me though. Talk to those same students outside of the essay, ask them about the book. You're gonna hear opinions, connections, genuine thinking. So the problem was never that they couldn't think, it's the transition, getting that thinking onto a page in a structured, logical, evidence-based way. And we keep asking them to figure that out alone. Drives me crazy. So before we dive into this video, my name is Caitlin Mitchell, and on this channel, I share ideas for middle school ELA teachers. If that's you, hit subscribe where you're watching this video for more videos like this one. All right, let's talk about the structure. A graphic group essay is a structured, visual, collaborative approach to the thinking process that really underlies analytical writing. So before students write a single sentence, they're gonna work in small groups to just make their thinking visible. They're gonna build the argument out loud and on paper together. They're talking about claim, evidence, justification, premises, and they're doing it in a format that you as the teacher can see, that you can question, and that you can revise. So what's cool is that the thinking happens first, and it happens in an open and collaborative way with others, and then the writing can come after. So I want to talk about how to do one. So the most important part, honestly, is the prompt that you come up with. So you need a high quality question, a question that has multiple defensible answers. So a good question would be, for example, which character shows the most growth over the course of the novel? So students can pick a character, they can genuinely disagree with each other. Answers can be found in evidence from the text, and that's really what you want. So once you have your prompt, you will place students into groups of 3 and 4, and you're going to assign them specific roles. So the roles that you have are a claim architect, an evidence curator, a reasoning or justification developer, and then a visual organizer. And these roles aren't meant to be like rigid silos where they are only working on their assigned role, right? Everybody is contributing to everything, but the roles create accountability so that no one is just coasting and doing nothing. So then for the actual graphic essay, for this, you're gonna need chart paper or a whiteboard. You can do it on shared digital canvas, it doesn't matter. But basically they are organizing their thoughts on the paper. So the central claim is gonna go at the top, and then you have the premises and evidence branch off down beneath it, and then the justification connects everything back to the claim. So as they're building this on their paper, you're gonna circulate, you're gonna ask questions. What's your claim? Why is this evidence the one that you chose over the other one? Like, what would you say to the other side? How does your evidence prove or disprove this, right? So as they are working, you get to coach their thinking in real time. This is the magic. You're not waiting to respond to it in feedback on an essay 3 days later, or honestly, sometimes even weeks later when it comes to grading. So it's really cool that you get to give them that feedback as it's happening in action, real time, right? So once students complete their graphic essays, you now want them to participate in some sort of a discussion. So you can have groups share their graphic essays with another group, or you can do a whole class. And you really want to get your students into the habit of defending their ideas with their justification of their evidence. Like, that is the most important part that we're looking for. So if they get up there and they're sharing their ideas and they can't actually defend their position, then we know that something's missing in either their evidence or their justification, or even all the way back to their claim. And we can have that conversation then and there before they even sit down to write an essay. So once all of that group work is done, you can now have students write their own individual essays if you'd like, using the graphic organizer as their roadmap. So what I love about this is that the planning has already been done. right? The argument is clear, their claims are clear, their justification is clear, and all that's left is like that craft of actually writing. So formulating sentences and things like that. And here's what you'll notice with their essays is that their essays are just better. And not only like slightly better, but substantially better, because all of the thinking happened first. And it happened in the open, in a collaborative capacity where you could see it, where you could help shape it, where you could ask questions, where you could give feedback. And so if essay writing has been a source of frustration in your classroom for you and for your students, the reframe here is that the problem probably isn't that your students can't necessarily write. It's that what we've been asking them to do is too many things all at once without enough support for the hardest part, which is the thinking. So the graphic group essays give that thinking the time, the space, the collaboration, the feedback that it actually needs. And when we do that, the writing really takes care of itself. So I want you to try it. Let me know how it went in the comments below and make sure to hit subscribe for more videos like this one.